So Alice ran and ran, but she couldn't see the rabbit. So she started to slow down and take a breath. But as she slowed down, she started to notice the temperature was getting really, really cold. Like, it went from being in the mid 70s to now it feels like we're almost 30 degrees. And it didn't feel good. So the further she walked into the forest, the colder it got. And all of a sudden, she was in a place she didn't recognize. It looked like she was in the North Pole. The wind was blowing, the snow was falling, and Alice knew she had to find someplace quick, or she wasn't going to make it through the night. So she started looking, and she came upon a tower. It was a really tall tower, but she was hoping that there was someone home. So she ran up to the tower and started knocking on the door. No answer. She started knocking a little bit harder. No answer. So then she started kicking the door because she was desperate at this time, and the door flew open. The tower looked like it was abandoned and didn't look like there was anyone in there. She saw a long staircase going up to the top. So she started running. Up the stairs she went, all the way to the top of the tower. Once she got there, she saw that there was a fire pit, some food, and some blankets. So she knew someone had to be there once upon a time, but it looked like it was abandoned now. So she took the fire and lit the fire and started to get warm. But in the back of her mind, she did remember about one of her friends who had a run-in with some bears. So she was a little bit hesitant, but she figured she would take the chance rather than staying out there in that cold. So she stayed, she ate, she stayed warm, and then she started to think, it's not so bad here. I kind of have everything I need. Maybe I could just stay in this tower. It's safe. There's no bad wolves here. And it's not like I can see the rabbit right now anyway with all that snow. So she sat, she ate, she meditated, she read. Yeah, they actually had books there. And she slept. And as days passed, she got more and more comfortable being in that tower. One morning, she was awoken by a horribly annoying sound. And if anybody has heard crows, you know how annoying they can be. She woke up and said, "Please stop." And she saw that the crow was standing in the windowsill. And he just kept cawing. She asked again, "Please stop. Go away. Shoo." Then the crow started talking. Oh, yes, I forgot. You guys can't understand me when I don't talk in English. Yeah, like, it's really annoying. The cawing. So stop. Sure. But I have a question. How long are you going to stay in this tower? What's it to you? She said. I mean, you can't stay here forever. Why can't I? She replied. Do you know the people who live here? Oh no, they've been gone a long time ago. They figured that they couldn't stay in this tower forever either, so they decided to leave. Well, I'm not those people, and you know what? This tower feels pretty safe. I have wood, I have tools to get more wood, there's food here, and there's a lake right down the road. I think I can stay here. That doesn't make sense, Alice. How do you know my name? Everybody knows your name around here. Well, that's weird. Anyway, could you please leave me alone? No, I want to talk. About what? Alice said. How long do you think you can stay in this tower? I just told you I can stay here forever. There's literally no reason for me to leave. What about home? What about the people that you're trying to get back to? What about them? They need you. Do they really? She said. They seem to be doing fine without me right now. How do you know? He said. Just a hunch. Well, you really need to think about it. Why are you staying in the tower? You ask a lot of questions for a bird, she said. I'm staying in the tower because it's safe. I'm staying in the tower because I don't have to run into people I don't want to see. I'm staying in the tower because I don't have to make new friends. Wow, said the crow, that sounds pretty boring to me. And Alice replied, and that is just fine. Well, if that's how you feel, I'll just be here every morning to wake you up. Please don't, Alice said. Why? Just because you don't like people doesn't mean I don't. And I figured you need some company anyway, so I'll be back tomorrow. The crow flies off, and Alice sits there and sighs. So, she starts to think, staying in the tower can't be that bad, right? I mean, I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to see anybody. I don't have to make potential bad decisions if I meet new people. It's just safer here. Everything I need's here. And as soon as she thought that thought, she heard some humming. It wasn't humming that she's ever heard before. It was little and tiny types of hums. So she stood up and looked out the window. At least she knew it wasn't the crow. Who's there? She said. I really don't want anybody here, and I kind of want to be alone. And the little humming stopped. Can you come out to play? Alice said, what? I said, can you come out to play? If you hadn't noticed, it's a full-up blizzard outside, and I can't even see who you are. I'm right here above you. And she looked up, and it was a fairy. Like, where are all these weird things coming from? Where did this wolf take me? She was thinking. So, can you come out to play? No. Why? Fairy said. Because it's like 12 feet of snow outside? And the fairy said, are you sure? I'm pretty sure. I've been here for days. And it's been snowing for days. Why don't you look outside again? So Alice took a sigh, walked over to the window. There was no snow. It didn't even look like it had been snowing at all. It looked like it was the middle of spring with flowers in full bloom. What is going on here? What is this place? It's Wonderland, silly, said the fairy. So, what do you want from me? Alice said. I want you to come out and play. I just said that 2 times. Do you have a hard time hearing? No, I just have a hard time understanding why you think I want to come out to play. Because you've been up in this tower for so long. Aren't you bored? Actually, I'm not. Don't you want to meet new people? Actually, I don't, Alice said. Don't you want to find the rabbit? And once she said that, Alice looked and said, actually, I do. Well, to find the rabbit, you're going to have to come out the tower. So Alice sat back down and said, look, I'm scared to come out the tower. I'm scared to meet new people. I'm scared to put myself in any situation that I can get hurt again. The tower protects me. But for how long? Said the fairy. And from who? Alice said, from everybody. And the fairy said, but can it protect you from yourself? What does that even mean? Alice said. Well, if you're dealing with issues internally, don't you think hiding in the tower is just going to make them worse? Because that's all you have. You and your issues. Wow, you sure are mouthy, Alice thought. But I guess you're right. And I kind of do need to get back home. People are depending on me, and there's so many things I still have to do. Great, so come outside and play. I really don't want to play, but if you can help me find that rabbit, I'll come down. So the fairy said, absolutely, let's go. Let's go find the rabbit. So Alice comes down the stairs, nice and slow, and comes outside. Still in complete shock that the blizzard that was just there about a week ago was completely gone and she hadn't noticed. Was she in the tower for that long? So as she walked with the fairy flying and talking and talking and talking, she realized she better find this rabbit fast or she's going to go crazy with the fairy. And as soon as she thought the thought, she saw the rabbit. And off he took, and she was right after. She yelled back to the fairy, thanks for the help. The fairy said, well, have fun. I'll see you around. And the fairy flew off as Alice kept running. The rabbit darted right, left, up, down, and Alice was able to keep track. And then the rabbit stopped, turned around, and said, why are you following me? And Alice stopped in her tracks because who knew that the rabbit could talk? And then she realized, yeah, this is Wonderland. So come back tomorrow to see what characters Alice runs into next and if she actually catches that white rabbit. Stay safe, take care, and be well.